Preparing to live stream the meeting.
Is that it? We're just doing it.
Fucking mate. What's the point? You know me, Dan? Straight in.
We haven't even said hello to each other.
Yeah, in there. Part of the introduction. It's part of the fun, isn't it?
All right then. So, episode number 3. Just fucking do it. Look at Ben the Dragon. That poor magic dragon coming out of his nostrils. And basically, today we're going to talk about discipline for dickheads, because I think we've all had a bit of an awakening this week. And I just feel like, even though it's only week 3, I feel like there's been massive progress. So we all agreed that we're going to look at the positives, look at the wins today, and sort of work backwards, look at how we got them, how we got those wins, how we achieved them. And obviously take that forward to another week. It's all really positive. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Thoughts on that, John, Ben?
Yep, sounds like a good plan to me. I think you need to start us off, Dan. You've got a big week.
Let's do it.
Like revelations from Den this week. I just keep getting messages going.
I know.
Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
Revelations.
8 a.m. I'm looking for a plunge pool in countryside. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. So it is. He messaged me last night and he was like, oh, John, do you want to, let's do this. And I was like, right, I've got my plunge pool at 8 a.m. So I was expecting you at 8 o'clock this morning, me, Dan. And my guy's out in the countryside looking for fucking rock pools and shit.
I'm going to go back tonight as well. I'm going to go back.
You're going to find it? Should we live stream it? Should we all do it?
Oh, we'll do, yeah. So done sunrise one, want to do sunset one, see what crack is. Let's see which is warmer as well.
Well, one of the things that I actually went into on one of mine today was the fact that when you get a drastic reduction in body temperature, you get a massive melatonin dump. Obviously really important for sleep. So it might not be a bad idea trying it at night, because having a cold shower, your body starts to drastically get rid of heat as well, although your blood vessels come to the surface. So it does make you sleepy. And I found that actually, that as I became more accustomed to it and I'd sit in the water for longer, I'd actually get out obviously a lot colder. And that initial kind of, once you warm back up, you do feel it's the best way to describe it is it almost feels calming.
Good old hypothermia.
Yeah, frostbite on the feet. Apart from the pain, I'm still cold today. I literally, like I said in the voice note to you guys, then I woke up at 6 o'clock which is a lie-in for me. But then it was freezing, so I just got back in bed. The next thing I know, it was 10 to 8, and I kind of just jumped up straight from bed into the plunge pool. I am still freezing right now. I'm sat here in a coat. I've got my trainers on, got 2 pairs of trackies on. I'm trying to warm up. I was literally vibrating.
That's why I've got my hat on.
And it's not warm outside, is it? Let's be honest.
I want a video, or at least a soundtrack of Ben in the shower doing these plunge. Doing these
because he just laughs, doesn't he? Like, laughs through the pain. Just like some maniacal
I actually do. I just laugh when I'm uncomfortable.
Yes.
Well, yeah. So where this one's come from then is, well, firstly, I know I've messaged you guys already with this, but it's like just to say like thank you to you two, because even though it's space of just 3 weeks, it is genuine. I've messaged these guys about it. I've done coaching programs, lots and lots of coaching programs ever since being self-employed and looking to work online and things like that. And I've paid thousands and thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
Like I don't even want to know how many thousands of pounds. It's got to be upwards of 20 if I think about it. And even just in space, this is the first time. I'm literally, my pace of walking around the house is different. Everything's different. And it's just being led. It's not being told what to do. Yeah, we sit here and do this. Literally, we sit and do this live, and then we go away and just try and implement as best we can. We have a bit of a message in between, saying I'm struggling with this, or I've done that, and that was good. But we don't push each other and kind of properly get hands on and say, do this, do that, do it. And I think I've responded to that. So what I responded to is the way these two have led. So John, like 10 days straight going in that plunge pool. The difference in the videos, I don't know if you noticed, John, I'm sure Ben does. Like, he's just calm, he's just doing it. And it's like, even the way you get in the water, it's like, and you said something last week, well, you say it all the time. He said something on phone to me. He said, if something needs doing, it's getting fucking done. And it's how you said it. You like broke the word. It's getting done, and it's like very matter of fact.
Yeah.
And yeah, but listening to your attitude and seeing your attitude with that has definitely helped me and dragged me. Because if we just talked about it, I think I'd have just done the same. I'd have just procrastinated, maybe done it, talked myself out of it, or self-coached, like we spoke about, bit of a danger for me. But because I've seen you doing it relentlessly, it's dragged me along. I don't know how you feel about that, Ben. With John.
100%. Yeah, inspired me to start doing cold showers again. I did them on and off for a while, but then I just, as you do, stacked it off. But yeah, since we've been posting it in group and seeing each other actually doing it, then I've been getting into the routine of doing it, and I do feel like it makes a difference, because not only for the like physiological benefits, but I think for me more than anything, it's helped me with procrastination, because it's like you don't want to do it every morning. You literally don't want to do it, dear. Like your whole body is just like, no, no, you don't need to do it. You don't want to do it. Nobody will know if you don't do it. But what's funny is when my brain was telling me this morning, I'm a bit of a weirdo, and I started laughing at myself when I were like hearing myself talk to myself. And I just said to myself, it's a good job you haven't got a fucking choice then, innit? And I just smashed it on freezing cold and just stood under it. Like, you just need to, and I feel like once you've got over that mental thing of you're not giving yourself a chance to talk yourself out of it, I feel like it sets a tone for the rest of the day. So whatever it is, as soon you start being a bit more self-aware, don't you? Like when you start to feel yourself going, you don't need to do that, or just sit down for a few more minutes. It sets a tone for you to just recognize that, I think, and then just be like, no, fuck that, we're doing it anyway.
Absolutely. It's training the muscle, isn't it? We're all
training the mind.
Definitely training the muscle. Even just that picking your phone up when you woke up, or just them little things, you're stopping yourself. Like you said, there were one instance this week. I put my foot in the shower and took it back out. I took it back out. And literally, I'm self-talking. I'm going, fucking do it. And I do it. And then when I get in, I'm going, it's easy. And I'm saying that for about 20 seconds. And then it just does get easy.
Yeah.
Well, there's massive lessons there. Like, I feel completely different this week. I'm like, I'm writing checklists and I'm doing them. You know,
it's the dark side.
Yeah, exactly. But other point of it is like it's not just you, John. Like that's led as well. It's like Ben in his quiet way. It's just like pops in, just says, "I've done this and I've done that." Matter of fact, like stop making a big fucking song and dance about it. And just do it. You know what I mean? So it's like for me, it's two perfect characters to do it with. And then there's me just fucking yeah, avoidance tactics, fucking humour, deflection. Oh, I'm like a slippery, horrible, oily fucking fish. But you've got me, you've harpooned me, and you sort of you're pulling me into line in a different way, which is like mega. I can't wait for this week. I cannot wait. Like I've bought that discipline diary. That's game changer for me, like as in
it's class, isn't it? I mean,
while we're on this subject, sorry, you finish off then, and then I'm gonna show you.
Even the fact that I've thought to have something like that is a fucking game changer. That's like, hold on a minute, you're committing here, like almost having a word with myself again. Okay, look at you, you've bought a discipline diary, like you're actually going to be disciplined. So yeah, that was all I'm going to say about that, really.
Good man. John, can you enable sharing, please? If you know how.
Yeah.
While John's just doing that, then what do you think your biggest win is this week then?
Motivation, energy. I feel like I'm properly at it. I've got a massive backlog of shit to tidy up, but I've been working my way through it. No procrastination. Since midweek, anyway. I did that voice message, didn't I, midweek, and I said, "Oh, fuck it." I realized a self-realization that I am uncoachable, full of shit. And I'm fine with that. That's part of this. I don't mean full of shit in a bad way. Like, I'm great at explaining what to do to people and helping people through their stuff. But my life's a mess because I've made it a mess by not being disciplined and just putting my hands up to that in the group midweek. But again, I feel like I can, so I have, and I'll step forward. That my sheet's ready to go. Today I've got things planned to do, so I'm ready to go tomorrow. And yeah, it's not going to be perfect, which we've said, but what I would have done before is said, I'd have used that as an excuse to be able to be slack and have, you know what I mean? Whereas it's not going to be perfect, but if it's fucking not close to perfect, John's going to be off and running. It needs to be miles ahead. Like, and you know what I mean? I can't have that. A bit of, not an ego thing, but
competition, isn't it?
I just don't want to let you down. Like, we're supposed to be doing this together. So
Yeah.
I don't want to let you down. Like, you don't want to let me down. So yeah, that's biggest win for me. Like, just the feeling mentally. I've got some of the things I've got lined up that I've done. Like, I've created a CRM in my business.
Yeah.
That's like work. Just everything's coming into line. I'm going to have to see success, like, not far away. Just a few more jobs and I'll be on top of it and I'll feel great. So yeah, massive win that for me.
Wicked. What do you think your biggest win is this week, John?
Wins for the week.
What would you say the biggest one is? One big one.
One big one. It's just letting the reins off. For me, I felt like I've fully gone in and committed. Everything that I've done. Like, we spoke about this last week. I've kind of, since I went self-employed, I've had half a foot in and half a foot out, because I went to work for Den, and I was self-employed, but I always had that kind of safety net of, I always had a bit, I always had a salary coming in from the side. I've just gone fully in, and I've invested massively in my business, as you both know, like thousands of pounds in trying to make it so that I'm in a situation now where if it's all me, do you know what I mean? It's all on me. And I think I needed that. I felt a kind of relief from it of, I don't work for anybody else anymore. It's all on me. And the only person, like, I am now the maker of my own destiny. And I've always had that. I've always given myself that safety net. But the biggest one for me was taking that safety net away a little bit.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like it's almost like freeing. I know what I need to do. I know when I need to do it. The checklist that I make on my own. And I know that I'm a savage, like, when it comes to things like that. And I know that I'm not going to be outworked. Like, you'll both know this. Like, there's been very few people who'll outwork me. And I needed to give myself that. And I think that was the biggest win for me. I felt kind of free from it. And honest to God, I would put some of that down to the cold plunge. It's that same thing of, you don't want to fucking do it because you want security and you want comfort. And I took that comfort away. So I've just got to fucking do it, haven't I? Like, that's exactly what it is. And I swear to God, that is coming from cold plunging. Like, every morning, like you said, Ben, you just don't want to do it. But if you fucking procrastinate, and if you're dipping one toe in and like Den did, and then taking it out, like, you're not gonna, it's just going to fucking makes it harder. It literally makes it harder. Just go in.
No time to think. Yeah.
And like Den's favorite saying is, no one's gonna die. No one died today. Like, ultimately, if you don't wait. But that's my biggest win. I feel fucking free for the first time in my professional career, if I'm honest. Which is nice, which is a good win.
You know, it's noticeable, like, let's say Ben talks, and I know you talk fast anyway, John, but even when I'm hearing myself talk, I think I sound loads more energetic, loads more bubbly, positive, talking faster, excited. And believe it or not, you do as well, like, even more than normal, I think, anyway. Like, but with clarity, not with a not sure thing lashed around your back or around your neck or whatever. There's like, I'm going this way. Yeah. And the confidence that you're going to do it as well. Like, for you, that cold plunge, oh my God. Like, you've left some employment, you've invested financially into your business. Like, they're massive, massive things. You've done them both in the same week. Yeah. You know, that's fucking mega. Like, in 3 weeks we've done this. I think that's fucking mega.
It's been massively positive. And it is that accountability. It's knowing that, for me, it's knowing I've got to come on here on a Sunday. And I cannot imagine anything worse than turning up on a Sunday and being like, yeah, I did fuck all last week, boys.
Yeah.
Like,
you're at an exciting stage now. You can start stretching these goals. You've done the ground, haven't you?
100%. That's like I spoke to you. I had a really good few months, and it set me up. Like financially, I had a really good few months, and it set me up to put me in this situation. So I'm just fucking rolling with it, man. I'm gonna ride this wave, see where it goes. It's fun times.
I can just imagine you on drums getting it that big and like on Cadbury's advert, like gorilla.
I ain't got time for that at the moment. I keep jumping on it. I just keep jumping on it, just jamming for a bit.
If all you learn on them drums is that, please do that on this podcast.
Do what? Phil Collins.
Yeah,
I could
put the gorilla outfit on, boys.
What a tune.
In fact, I'm setting that as a goal this week. It's got to be. Because it's a relaxation thing. Not just a bed, just like another chill out thing. Ben, what about you, mate?
So I feel like I'm a little bit of a slow burner just in the terms of the goals that I've got and I've been doing. I've still been feeling like I'm lagging to like get that self-fulfillment from it. But the biggest win that I've had this week is, like I said, my dream goal is to invest in like crypto and properties and all this sort of stuff. The fact that I've still been smashing my work. By the way, my role's changed at CP, so I've sort of took a bit more of a dominant role in sales and stuff, which is great. I've been hammering that out, which has made me feel better because I feel like I'm in control of something again. And the fact that I'm still being quite consistent, staying in contact with the crypto world, like an opportunity sort of fell onto my lap where now I'm professionally gaming for people just for a few weeks. But the potential financial return is like half a year's salary. So it's like pretty good. And the fact that it's incentivized by how well I do and how well I play these games is quite fulfilling, because I think it's made me feel like I'm one step closer. And I feel like that's just made me feel better about myself. So, and I feel like I'm recognizing, since we've been talking about it and stuff, I'm recognizing that actually this is like, so before I'd probably like overlook it and just be like, oh yeah, I've been given this opportunity, I'm just going to try my hardest. Whereas now I'm thinking, it's making me think like, shit, this is pretty awesome, this, isn't it? Like I've obviously proven my worth by getting good sales at CP, so my roles evolved there. My online business is still lagging, not where I want it to be, but I'm being pretty more. I'm being consistent with outreach and all the stuff that we talked about, which just in itself, I'm getting more confident in that. And then now that I've been consistent, staying in touch with the crypto world, I've got some great mates around me who've helped me present me with this opportunity. I've now got this other thing where I've got potential to earn a lot of money and use that money to then invest. I'm starting to see all the pieces in the puzzle come together. So, and like just little things like me and Clark, like I've been stuck in house with my knee and stuff. And me and Cloud went with some food yesterday and it were amazing. If you haven't already been to Brewski in town, go. Unreal, by the way. Had some food and stuff. So I just feel a bit more fulfilled and appreciative this week. I think that's the biggest thing. I feel like some of the puzzled parts are coming together a little bit more.
You seem it as well.
Yeah.
You seem happier this week.
And I do think that the showers help. I know. I keep saying I am shell shocked at how much of a difference they've made. Like it's just mad, isn't it? I think the biggest thing is just the brain training thing more than anything.
Yeah.
Have you read the book Make Your Bed?
You what? Sorry.
Read the book Make Your Bed.
You've
seen the speech by.
I've seen the speech. The colonel.
Speech. Yeah.
I've seen the speech about that colonel. He talks about if you're disciplined enough to make your bed first thing, it snowballs, doesn't it?
And that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're doing loads. You've just said there loads of little tiny commitments, little bits of discipline, which we're going to talk about today. They're adding up, aren't they? They're compounding, and you're seeing it. And it's going to drive you to do it more. And that's that big awakening for me as well. John naturally does that. He's kind of think John sounds like he's more at ease with that now, rather than chasing it. Confident that the building blocks are taking him somewhere instead now. I think that's the difference with John. Whereas us, are a bit like, oh fucking hell, that's working. Like, yeah. I think that's my assessment. Anyway, I don't know what you think, but
so look what I've got.
Oh fucking.
So just nice and basic at minute. I can edit it, chop and change it as we need to, but basically I've just put this spreadsheet together. So each week that we have this discussion, we can just bang our goals in. One for health, wealth, and relationships. It's got Monday to Friday. By let's set a time. What time are we saying that we need to put it by? 9 o'clock.
9 p.m. I think it's good. It's not too late. You can say 10 if you want, but I'll be honest, lads, I'm generally in bed by like 9:15.
No, I think it needs to be a time where if we've not done it, no matter what, you've still got time to do it. Even if you don't want to do it, or you just sort of like, oh, I'm knackered, lads. I'm like, I don't care. Like, it needs to be done.
9 p.m. works.
So I think if we say like 9 p.m. every day, it needs to be filled out. And then if something's not filled out, we can just hold each other accountable straight away. I think this will help me as well, because every day I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm doing my exercise and I'm doing all this stuff. But sometimes there's been a couple of days where I've just, I don't know what the word is. I've just felt no agency. So I feel like this would probably help me a little bit. I'm sure it'd probably, I guess it's like discipline diary a little bit.
This is basically what the discipline diary does. You've got 10 habits each day where you have to tick them off.
Yeah. So just our health, wealth, and relationship goals, and then we just literally tick them off every day, or put an X in it or whatever to say that you've done it. And then at the end of the week, before we jump onto this call, so you can either do it bang before the call or Saturday night or whatever, just write yes if you've achieved it, no if you aren't, and just like a couple of words as to why. Yes, or great, or no, need to discuss with lads or whatever. And then that's something that we can review each week. What do you think?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so this is Jan. So like, obviously we're already a few weeks into Jan. I just did this as a bit of a template just to get your guys' feedback. But we can just scroll across like that to each week. So we're going into week 3 or 4.
This is the third one, so we're going into week 4.
Yeah, so we're going into week 4.
Oh no, we're going into week 3 then, aren't we? Because we started, then it was the first week, then we did the second one, it was the second week, so it's the third one, the third week.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll just scroll across, and we'll just fill this out. So when we do get to this goal part, and we're making sure that even if they stay the same, we'll bang these in the goal section, and then I'll share this on a Google sheet so we've all got access to it. I'll share it with you both. And then I think if we can commit to doing it every day, I think that'll drill it into us even more, the old habit recording thing.
Because we're doing this on a Sunday as well, then we can take our 3 things and have them as 3 of our habits and our discipline diaries. So we've got like double accountability. You've got one to yourself and one to the boys on those 3 points. Because in your discipline diary, you've got the 10 habits that your daily non-negotiables. I can get my words out. We can have these as the top 3, and then you've got 5, then maybe pick 5 for yourself or 6 for yourself, whatever.
I think that's key. I think if we're setting a goal, it's all right having a goal there on a spreadsheet, but it's the little points, like we've just spoke about, all those building blocks, the little points, maybe 3 points for each goal are going to get us there.
I think his goal on that, I think his goal is that little point, because that's how we've been doing it, isn't it? You know, you're not going to have 5, right? You know, start 5 conversations. You don't need 3 points for that. Do you know what I mean? If that's your goal, that's one of your daily non-negotiables.
So I feel like the health, wealth, and relationships goal should be one of the smaller goals that's just for this week. I don't know, like you said, 5 conversations with people consistently throughout the week. So every day that would be one of your goals. Yeah, your wealth would be health could be, I don't know, go for a 20-minute walk or whatever, or plunge pool every day. Relationship, whatever. And then, like you said, if you've got a discipline diary or whatever, I feel like that should probably be part of the discipline diary. You could use that as 3 of your 10 points. And then your other ones can be stuff that's either on the same level or even smaller. It's totally up to you. So you could bang the reading or take your dog for a walk, or make sure every day you're consistently up at X time, or I don't know, whatever. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I think that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
We love a list. You know, I love a list.
Yeah, man.
Something to tick off.
Noticed our Den goes quiet on spreadsheet time.
I know.
Fucking
Jesus
hates
Christ, this is
it.
the quietest I've heard you all week, man.
Hey, I know. We're bringing you over to the dark side, though. Like when I went for a coffee with Dan midweek, and, and I was just saying to him, like, there, you know, it is useful having these sheets and having these to-do lists. And I was like, it stops the procrastination, because Dan is the king of finding something else to do. Like he's creative, so he'll almost try and find a way around it. So like it's weird. Every time I've ever seen him try and do something else crops up because someone else pops into his brain. I've told Dan this before. Like you're getting less, but he's quite scatty, and it's not an insult either. It's just the way he is. He's like he's so creative. He jumps from one thing, then he jumps to another, and he's like, okay, this, and then this, and this. And I feel like this is giving him direction, which is why I think it's starting. It's like you said to me, Dan. It's singularity of focus, because your brain goes off on one of like, right, I see, I'm going to start this, and then you look at the end goal. So like when we started this, it was like, you know, when we've got thousands of followers and subscribers, and it's like, mate, let's just start. Like, let's focus on the building blocks. And I think just having that singularity of focus and having those goals has been massive for Den, because he's like, right, okay, so this is what I've got to do today to get ready for tomorrow. Instead of thinking a month in advance, he's thinking, what can I do now, which is going to impact that? And that's massive for creating habits, and that's massive for creating discipline. It's not thinking so far ahead. It's just thinking, what can I do that's going to change things now? And then you repeat that process, and as that's what snowballs.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
But I'm shit at that. That's it. I can think about where I want something to be in a month, a year, 2 years' time. I don't put any building blocks in place.
Yeah. But you're building a house on weak foundations, which is why you've got to think, just set those basic foundations in, tick off those daily bits, day in, day out. It's exactly what we coach to all our clients that we've ever trained. Is tick off your basics before, stop worrying about your perfect workout split. Start getting your daily steps in, start looking at what you're eating, start drinking your water. All those little things that we tell people to do in a weight loss or a physique body composition goal. You've got to put those same principles into your day-to-day life. If you want something in the career, you know, from your career, you've got to be prepared to do the work up to that. It's not just going to come to you. You can say, yeah, I want to be CEO of a company. It's not just going to happen like that. You've got to build a company that you can be a CEO. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you've got to do those little things day in, day out, which are going to build up and create those good foundations. And I think this is giving you that, Dan, because I've never seen you ever want to do a fucking checklist. And when you said to me, when we went for the coffee, and you were like, right, I'm going to sit here. I've got this list of jobs today. I was like, yes, your Padawan. What the Jedi Master.
Then what did I say? You left, didn't you? And I went, oh, I can't do it here. It's too noisy. So
You still would have did it though. Shit,
honestly,
no.
but it's honestly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a massive. It's holding a mirror up to yourself, isn't it? So like, I've noticed it, and I do a lot of thinking, especially now, and just I try as hard as I can to be honest with myself. And what ends up happening there is you're wasteful, and I'm wasteful with finances, because I'm thinking way down the line, like, oh, I want to have a house, I want to have this, I want that, and I'm not putting the building blocks in place. So one thing that came to mind for me were even my car. So my car, it's like car, but it's fucking wasteful, and it's like I'm just chucking energy, finance, resource into it, and it's getting wasted the other end. And it's pure ego and bullshit from my point of view. And that I am literally my car. Like, that's how I see myself. And I'm sure there's so many people out there like that, you know, just, we need to drop the ego. I need a fucking van or a Fiesta.
I told you to do this right at the start. When you got that sales job and you were driving, I said, look, mate, I know you want the sports trim. Get the regular engine and the sports trim. That's what I did. I know I had to drive a lot. Yeah. I wanted it to look nice. We want the things that we want to look nice, but it don't need to cost you a fucking fortune in the process. If you're driving, I mean, I used to do the same. I used to drive from Newark to Chesterfield to work and back every day. If I had a fucking 2.5 litre engine, like, I'd have been bankrupt just on petrol. Like, so I got a regular engine, but I got a sports trim. I told you to do the same, and I think you probably should. Like, you want to go.
That's why they were uncoachable, John.
I know, you still are, I'm telling you.
I'm not.
You're getting there, to be fair. At least you've done your program all week.
In all seriousness, that's one of the things again. So I've stood up and I've contacted somebody about getting a vehicle, and I'm looking into how I get rid of my vehicle. And that's a big thing because I love that thing. But I remember saying it to my therapist. I said, I bought a car and I can't believe what I bought. It's like a pure Brian the Chimp has bought that car, not me.
100%.
The Chimp's bought this car. It just wanted to feel good. It just wanted me to feel good, like, because I was in a shit place. And I did, and that's what I've done.
I literally did the exact same thing. I bought an A-Class when I was 21. Worst decision I've ever made. Worst decision it bled me dry of money.
It
bled me dry. But it was for the exact same reason. And I think that's what a lot of people do, especially men. Like, if we're feeling down about stuff or not happy with where we're at, we want that instant, like, something to numb it, don't we? That instant, like, I need something to it'll make me feel better. It'll make me feel better. Avoidance, innit? Avoidance and deflection. Like, I want it to make me feel better. That car will make me feel better. It's like, no, it won't. That just adds to the list of problems. You need to, like, address what's happening.
Mate, I'd save 500 quid a month without that car. No problem.
Yeah. Easy with your fuel and stuff.
Yeah, I've done 9,000 miles in 11 weeks.
I know, yeah.
I don't even know. I've kept receipts, but they're all screwed up into little centre console. I don't even want to know how much I've put in fuel. It's 40 quid a day.
Get yourself an hybrid, lad.
I'm willing, Prius, bro.
I'm willing to get a van. I'm willing, obviously, dog.
I can see Dan in a Prius.
I might keep it but not run it. I don't know. I don't know if I can get rid of it completely.
my guy sells solar and turns up in like some gas guzzling car.
What's he gonna do?
It's weird. Get an electric or something. Like,
he's gonna put it on drive and wash it 4 times a week and drive it on Sunday.
he's not. We're not going to allow that. That's one of your goals this week, Dan. Get rid of the fucking car.
I'm actually on it, mate. I'm actually on it.
No, I get it. It's that short-term reward cycle, though, isn't it? And it's one of the things with addiction. So when you feel shit, you need a dopamine release. So I'm the same, but I do it with clothes and trainers and things like that. So if I feel shit or I'm in any way stressed, I'll go out and I'll buy a t-shirt. You do not know how many t-shirts I've got. It's fucking unreal. Like, or I'll buy a pair of trainers. Like, I don't need these trainers. I've got about 30 pairs of trainers. Don't need them. But that's how I used to deal with it. And that was my thing as well. Like, I didn't used to do it with cars. Didn't fall out that much. But everybody has that. And that's your vice and that's your reward. But then you start to associate that with feeling good. So it's retail therapy. It is literally retail therapy, which there's a fucking name for it. But then you have to break that cycle of, okay, do I need this? And one of my goals at the start of this year was to buy wants and not needs. That was one of the things I set myself in January, because I am habitually buying things that I've already got, just a slightly better version of it. Like, it's the same thing to massage my own ego or something really similar just because it makes me feel good when I bought something. And that is wasteful. It does become really wasteful. I mean, the amount of t-shirts I've got that I've worn once and that are just sat there, or trainers that are like in storage and they've barely been worn. It is wasteful. There's no need for it. But when you start to realize what it is, you can then start to put the little things in place to break that habit. And that's it. Realizing what the long-term reward is over a short-term gain. That short-term dopamine hit is not as important as where do I want to be. So for Den, if he wants this house, maybe he needs to get rid of that short-term dopamine hit to get the big dopamine hit when he fucking gets the key to his house.
I'll tell you what this is just reminding me of. So obviously I do like business mentoring with CP and stuff for PTs and online coaches and stuff. But so the stuff that I always say to people is every decision you make, if you're fully locked in and you want to seriously make progress, every decision you make, you got to ask yourself, is this getting me one step closer? Whether it's your content strategies, whether it's a decision that you make with marketing, whatever it is, I always say to them, you got to make sure that every decision you make, you got to reflect on it and be like, is this getting me one step closer? And I feel like that's something that we need to apply, really, don't we, in day-to-day life? Like, is this car going to get me one step closer to owning my own house, to doing this, to doing that? And you could do it. And I don't mean that you got to be like absolute strict and not allow yourself to have fun and stuff. Like, you can still ask that same question. So I'm going out with my mates this weekend. Is this going to get me one step closer to owning my own business? Well, yeah, because at the minute I feel like I'm burning out and seeing my friends that help. So it's not like just in a super strict way, if you know what I mean. But I feel like I'm trying to apply that to myself a little bit more now. So like in an evening when I'm normally like gaming and stuff, just like for fun, not the paid stuff I'm doing as well. Like when I'm normally just gaming and stuff, I'm trying to train myself to think like, is this going to help me? Is this going to help my relationship with my girlfriend? Is this going to help my relationship with myself? Do I actually need this time to unwind, or am I just doing it to fill time and doing it aimlessly? So I feel like that's something that we could all like try and start doing a little bit more, really. And I feel like it just make our lives a bit more productive. I feel like a lot of lads and men could do with trying to apply that logic in some way.
Just the act of questioning a decision of whether it's conducive to your goal or not can often be enough to stop you doing it.
Yeah. If
you don't question it and you don't say, why am I doing this? Is this good for the long-term goal? More often than not, you're just going to do it, and it will be detrimental. So like just about getting used to actually questioning whether it's worth it in the long run is quite a good habit to get into, I think.
Yeah. So, right. Shall we
let's crack on.
Shall we review our goals then? How's this week gone? Den, you start. Come on, spit it out, lad.
No, I've had a really good week. Yeah, I've not hit everything perfect. So I've done the spreadsheet. I ain't started on it, as in I ain't actually put a number in it. But
that's where you were last week, bro. So you ain't done nothing on that.
I didn't say I didn't, did I?
Come on.
Here he is.
Come on, here he is.
And the slithery snake.
He's fucking parrying everything away.
Swimming out with his oiled up body.
Say, what do you want me to say?
Have you fully done your spreadsheet and that, yeah?
Spreadsheet's done, yeah. I'll share it in the group, actually. That one of the things, weren't it, that we said about accountability, like putting just one, like I'll put one post for me in there, sharing my spreadsheet, and then every day underneath it, I'll put something to say I've completed it. It might be that 9 o'clock thing. So because what John's done really well again is he's videoed every flipping plunge, and it's working because it's making you do it every day. So I'll do that because I am shit otherwise, and nobody's here to tell me otherwise. Blah blah blah. So I will do that in group. So health wise, training's been ace. I've started doing program John set me. Flipping tough. Felt like I stepped over a line, which is great. So yeah, looking forward to that. This week I will also track my calories, John. Let me finish. I will track my calories. I'm not going to say because. Cold showers, they're a game changer, like mentality-wise. It's purely not even just about fucking ego. Well, look at me, I can get in sub-zero water. It's the decision-making and that one thing first thing in the morning, making sure you get it done. It's brilliant. That change sets you up for the day, and you build momentum from there on, which is great. So health-wise, feel really good. Loads of energy. Feel really motivated. Yeah, cool. Wealth-wise, obviously spreadsheet comes into that, and big thing I've done is made some difficult and shitty phone calls and paid off some. I'm one of them. I get a £30 parking fine. I pay it when it's up to about 170. So I've just paid a few, swallowed a few frogs, got them out of the way, done it. Lesson learned. Well, that's what I'm saying about being wasteful with me. Fucking hell, the amount of money I must have wasted over my lifetime, I don't know, on stuff like that, just being unorganised, getting letters, putting them on stairs, putting them in the kitchen cupboard, forgetting about them, and then being gutted when it's gone up to 170 quid.
I literally used to be the exact same, I promise you, literally the same. And then one of them they tried taking me to court, and I fully had to settle. And then since then, mate, I think that was about 2 years ago, and that would just let me tell you, my car was 99% not on double yellows, and I think my bump was overhanging the double yellows by about an inch. And they fully took me to court, tried taking me to court for it and everything, and I had to settle. But since then, mate, any letter, no matter what fine it is, whether it's £1 or £1,000, now as soon as I see it, I go, fuck's sake. I have a little morning, a whinge, and I just go straight to the computer and pay it. Because then it's like instant relief, and then because you don't get that building up and building up and building up in back of your mind.
Yeah, I've got that, definitely. So I owe about £1,200 in council tax. So I've been swallowing frogs.
Bang it out, mate. Honestly,
again, this action has come from fucking stepping into cold water. It has that reflex is getting built from that point in the day. So it's made.
It is like we said, though, isn't it? It's just that fuck procrastination. If you say you're going to do something, instead of just fucking feathering around it, just get it done.
Yeah.
Like, just get it done. It might be uncomfortable at the time, but you come out of it. And like Ben said, there's no built up stress. There's no, oh, I've got this to come. You know, you're not anticipating it. You just get it done, get it over with. And that goes into working life. That goes into everything. Like, even training. I train first thing in the morning because I just get it done. I find I train better then, but it means that I've got it, and the rest of my day I can focus on what I need to do, and I've already done the first thing. And it also comes back to that, just make your bed. It's the first thing I've done every morning for the last 6 years. I get up and I make my bed. It means I get into a nice tidy bed, you know, when I want to go to sleep at night, and it's the first job out of the way, and it means you've already done something. And that snowballs. Those small habits, as we're talking about discipline for dickheads, those small habits build up over time. And that's what snowballs, and that's what means that the big things start to come in, and then you start doing it with bigger things, and that's how you grow, and that's what I think is that's starting to happen for all of us.
Yeah, 100%. So I think just before we move on to wealth or relationships, then I think if that's making such a big impact on you right now, then I think cold showers every morning, every morning, 7 days a week.
He's just ordered them in the group as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, or plunge pool when that comes as well. Cold showers until it comes, and then plunge pool when it comes. Share it every morning when you've done it.
Yeah. Well,
you don't have to put a picture of your white arse on the thingy though.
That's
group.
Well, maybe I do if I don't do it. Maybe that's the point.
Right, okay. If you don't do it, your arse has got to go on Instagram.
So yeah, wealth-wise, I'm looking forward to this week. I'm going to try and I'm going to set myself a target of 2K this week because I've created my CRM. It looks to be working. People are getting messages. People are replying. That's a good feeling. It's a lot of stuff done on autopilot that probably get missed because when you same reason with bills, you come home late at night, you bin it off. I'll do it tomorrow. Before you know it, 3 days has slipped and that contact's gone cold. So CRM's helping with that. So I bit the bullet, sat down until late at night, built all that out, all the emails and everything. So I'm happy with that. So that's wealth. So if you want to set a target for me for 2K, that'll push me on. And relationships, again, I've done loads better. So yesterday I met a couple of olds. I say old, I don't mean old as in age old. I mean, they were gym members, and I've got loads of moms. I've got loads of women that mother me. And I met them for a coffee yesterday, which was great.
That rate don't surprise me, you know.
Honestly, mate, I bet there's at least 10 that I could just call on, and they're around me, bless them. They're brilliant.
Any woman over 50 that ever saw a picture, that I know, ever saw a picture of you was like, who's that? You're a proper, like, cougar. You are, let me tell you. I've seen you plenty of fish account that you keep sending us pictures of as well. Fucking right funny.
Who's on Plenty of Fish? That's not me, John. So that's been good, and it's something I'm much better at. It was actually me that instigated that, which is good. Family, I've made sure I've spoke to my brothers, went go and see mum and dad, so that's cool. And just recognising, like I sent you guys that message in midweek, just recognising things that you're grateful for. With just people like yourselves, although we're in each other's lives now, sometimes you can forget to actually tell them that you appreciate them for what they've done and things like that. So, yeah, I'm getting a good grip on some stuff. It's about stretching it now, isn't it? I suppose. So, like today, I'm again, I don't particularly want to, because I'm thinking of the stuff I want to do. I can't wait to get started for next week. But I'm going to go and hit some balls with a mate whose class is always phoning and checking in on me. Put them first. So
let's take it up a notch then. So we were a bit vague with it last week, and we said 3 times in this week. So let's change it. So every day this coming week, you make some form of contact with your mate, whether it's meeting them, a simple text, a phone call, whatever it is, every day this week.
I think one that I've
What
said.
do you reckon, John?
Yeah, I think that's good. I think it'd be good for Dan as well, because he's got to prioritise it. And I think that's massive for you where you are in life, is you've got amazing relationships in your life and nurture them.
I think the ones I'm shit at, actually, mum and dad. I took my mum for a coffee. I've not spoken to mum and dad for about 5 years until recently. And I've still not got around to do we know in particular with him? I've been for a game of golf with my dad, but my mum.
Well, that's a good one to do then, because it's your mother, isn't it?
Do that then.
Yeah. So why don't we say you've got to make contact with somebody every day, and you've got to take your mum out, because you obviously your daughters are going to be a big priority anyway. So you've got that one in the bag pretty much. We've already gone through that over the first couple of weeks, cementing that time for you and your kids. Let's go the opposite way. Let's go for you and your mum. Put together a time this week where you either go see your mum and dad, and you take your mum for a coffee, you take them for some food, do something nice for your mum and dad. I think that's a good thing to have this week, and it might be a good thing to try and get in, once every week, once every couple of weeks, where you go and you have a coffee with your mum. I try and see my mum every week. We message every couple of days. It's something you've got to do it. But I went through a period in my life as well where I did not do enough of it, and I did not show enough effort towards my family. And when you make that, and like I said last week, when you start to make the effort with other people, they make the effort more with you, and that makes a massive difference in your life. So I think that's a really good one for you this week. Let's go the opposite way from your kids. Let's go up.
Yeah.
You agree with that, Dan? You agree with that, Ben?
Yeah, so I've written that. So speak to a friend every day, take mum and dad out this week. Wealth, you said 2K a week.
2K a week. So how are we going to strat that on a daily basis?
Yeah. So how are we going to strat that on a daily basis then, to make sure that we're holding you accountable?
The only thing I can do is follow up, innit? You can't make people buy. So as long as I'm on point with follow up. And the other thing I'm going to be doing is actually, so that's another thing I've created. I've created a sales deck. So I'm trying to get people to buy there and then. I'm not without being pushy. So I'm big into sales. I love it. And it's coming from a service point of view. So yeah, I want to hone my pitch really, and pitch to at least 3 people in a week, and test that I can try and get somebody to sign up on the day. And if I can prove it once, I'll prove it time and again.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. So why don't we say every day you've got to keep on top of your emails, your leads and your lead gen and things like that, so that every day you're not trying to catch up. So we say that you've done your follow-ups, you've done your email list, or whatever it is, each day you've got to tick off that you're not behind on following up with people or anything like that. So you've got to be on point. So by the end of Monday night, everybody who needed to be followed up on Monday is followed up with, so that you're, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it, just that you're always on point.
Don't let no leads go cold. So every day, any existing leads that you're nurturing has to be followed up, or point of contact done, or I don't know, whatever it is. If it means closing on the spot, then it means closing on the spot. You can do that as one of your daily habits or whatever. You can say, today I'm going to try the extra mile to not push the sale, but you know what I'm saying, to try hard for the close face to face every day. That's one of my goal. And what you'll probably find is every day you drop something in, you feel your blood pressure go up. You know how it is with sales. I love sales as well. Your blood pressure goes up when you pour it on him a little bit, and you see the reaction. And when you realize that people just they'll just say yes or no, or they need to think about it and stuff. And then when you think, you'll probably think, oh, that weren't that bad, I'll do that, and then add something else in next time, and something else in next time. Yeah. And then before end of week, mate, I guarantee you'll close someone on spot.
I will do. I'm really confident with sales. It's a bit of a switch from obviously fitness sales. People do they do it there and then. Whereas you're talking 15 grand. So they do want to see a third quote. They do want to. But I'm
of course.
Created a system that I'm tested last week on a couple. I've closed all them doors and I've made it so there's nowhere for them to go other than to buy. There's no point and I'm very excited about doing it next week because I've got it nailed. So yeah, I want to pitch to at least 3 to test it, as in try and get a on the day sale. And so yeah, that's it. 2K a week, follow-ups up to date.
Plunge pool every day. Speak to a friend every day. Take your mum and dad out.
Yeah, with health. What have you put? I've put calories.
Pool every day.
Yeah, but therapy as well. I'm still not doing my therapy exercises, so I start therapy again on Monday. So
do your therapy exercises then? That's probably. I feel like cold plunges you're doing anyway. Maybe we have therapy exercises as your thing then instead.
That needs to be like my evening thing that I do.
Have an AM and a PM then. Cold plunge in the morning, therapy in the evening. Just have it as a double thing. It's like something you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, Ben. You go next.
Hey.
You got dusted over last week, so you're on point this week, mate.
So health-wise, still doing the exercises every day. I feel like now I'm at the point where some days I didn't do my exercises because I didn't do like full-on sessions. I was just all day I was just moving it and tensing my quads and moving my hamstrings and stuff. A couple of days I felt like my hamstring, I probably did it too much. Like my hamstrings were, I couldn't even do a standing hamstring curl with my leg because my hamstring was just cramping like hell. So I feel like I probably do need to be more disciplined, and rather than doing it consistently all day when I'm just sat, because I hate just being sat, so I just move my legs and tense and all that sort of stuff. So I think if I probably separated it a little bit more, and I'm nearly walking without crutches now, so that's good. But I think cold showers for me did really help. So I think I'm going to try and make that as part of my routine.
So we say cold plunge, cold showers for you as well then?
Yeah.
We're all on this cold plunge vibe. It's mine.
Let's do it. And the thing is, when we start doing it, when we know that we're doing it, you've already got an advantage here, but when like me and Den are confident that we're doing it every single day, we can just take that off and just like see that as that's who we are now. That's what we do. That's what we do. Once we're like fully committed to doing it and we're in a bit of a habit, then we can just take that off and put something else, can't we?
Yeah.
I literally haven't had warm water on my skin for about 10 days.
Yeah.
I wash in cold. My shower's set to 0.
To be fair, when you get the cold plunge, you almost get like hot cold therapy on a budget. So it's quite nice. Going from the cold, sitting in the cold, and then warming up, because you can't have your shower too hot. That's what I think. You don't want to go too extreme. You've got to kind of gradually warm up. So I enjoy it. I'll sit there for 3.5 minutes in the cold plunge. I'll go and have a warm shower, and then I'm fully invigorated, and it really helps circulation, everything like that. You get the benefits of both. So you might end up doing something like that. That might change as well. Because like I said, the cold plunge is a different beast to a cold shower.
Yeah, I know.
It's fully, because you're fully submerged, it's all encompassing. Like the shower, you're kind of getting sprayed at, you know what I mean? So you can
do you know what I don't like about the shower? You know, like I'm trying to get my whole body in it, but obviously my shower's quite small and I'm a reasonably big guy. So I'm like squirming, trying to get myself all wet. But like one bit gets cold and starts getting numb and you're like, oh, that's fine. And then you move and it like a bit trickles down your spine. You're like, ah! You know what I mean? Don't you, Dad?
But with the cold plunge, like you're just in and it's that initial shock and it's your body freezes up. Yeah. So you have to, and then it burns. It burns. You know how frosty it's been because like you're in the same area as me. The last few days it's been -3, -4 degrees at night. So when I'm waking up, you're basically cracking ice. Like I'm taking the lid off the recovery pod and it's frozen to the actual pod. Like it burns, man.
I'm dreading it, mate. I'm dreading it.
You'll love it.
I thought about you every morning because I get up and take dog out and I think, fuck, I don't fancy being John this morning. Just eat car frozen over and that. I think,
I'm going to buy one.
Mate, do it. It's honestly, once you start doing it, it's been like I said today, I literally got up and I got straight out of bed I went downstairs and I was like, I could do this after the podcast. And I just went, no, fuck it, put my shorts on, bang, straight in there. And just saying, and
We should do a 3-minute mini pod.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've been doing for the Just Fucking Do It thing, innit? I've been trying to talk through different things. So I went through how it made me feel, like melatonin dumps, and like I kind of went into how we were doing and Just Fucking Do It, and then different times, because it's when you're filming yourself doing it as well, because you're forced to talk to the camera, it forces you to control your breathing. And I think it's been massive. So I was talking to a lad who's done them before, and he was like, don't film yourself doing your first ones. And I did. I just filmed it doing my first one. And I think if I'd have not, I'd have been out of that thing in like 15 seconds, bro. Like, but because I was on camera, you're like, I'm not bitching out on camera. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like your inner ego comes back into it, and you're like, I ain't no bitch. Like, I'm gonna fucking sit here for 2 minutes and be cold. And because you're talking through it, you're forced to, it takes your mind off the pain a little bit. So if you're gonna, when you do your first cold plunge, film it. That's my advice. And talk to the camera, talk about how it makes you feel. And you've seen the difference in how I was at first to how I am now. Now I just get in and I'm like,
you hated it the first few. You hated it.
The first few were awful, but then like now I'm like, I actually look forward to it. The thought never gets any easier, but I want to do it. And like I say, it's definitely changes your perspective on fucking getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because it ain't comfortable. It's never gonna be.
You said there was one where you said, I couldn't want to do this any less. And then you just jumped in.
But that's it. Throughout your life, as a man or a woman or anything, throughout your life, you're going to be forced to be put into situations which you don't want to do, but you know will benefit you. And starting small with something like this, like most people, like I've had people messaging me going, what's this point of this cold plunge then? And I'm like, well, it spirals because eventually there will be a situation where I know that I don't want to do it at all, but it will benefit me in the long run. And because I'm building up discipline in my brain, like you said, training the brain to do that, it's going to be easier for me to overcome those bigger obstacles in life when they come. And the breathing under stress, like under physical stress, under mental stress, being able to control your breath and control how you react to something is massively important. And that's the benefit I've got from it. It's the fact that when I get in now, I don't freeze up. I don't just go, you know, and everything goes stiff. I go in and I'm like, control it, breathe out, breathe in normally. And that's a massive, massive like leg up to have when you're in a stressful situation. So
do you think it's walking out into a lake? Because obviously it's steady then, isn't it? Rather than
diving in, mate. When we do that cold, there's not going to be no fannying about walking up.
Oh yeah, straight in, bro.
Because I'll just be like, no. I know I will. Yeah. I'm just head first diving, somersaulting into deep end, mate. Let me tell you, even if there's pebbles there, that's it. I'm just
starfishing in.
Yes, starfishing straight in.
Well, that's kind of the next step, isn't it? Is walking out into them, getting slower, being able to breathe and stuff like that.
I bet that'd be harder.
You can't really do that in a pot. It will be harder because you're gradually going to get colder and colder. But for me, one of the things that I did do the other day was stood. So I got in, did it, dumped my head, sat there for 3 minutes, and after, instead of just getting straight out, wrapping myself in a towel, I stood up and I left my legs in there for like another 30 seconds, and that was tough. Because then the wind's on you and the ambient temperature, so everything, your heat just draws off you rapidly. But your legs are still underneath and you're still getting chilled. See, that's kind of building blocks, isn't it? It's the same. It's just building blocks. Eventually, I might just be able to sit there with just my torso, you know, like my waist in there, get lower, slowly edge your way in, you know. But dunking your head at first helps as well. I think the more that's in the water, the more you just, all of your body's having to deal with it. So you're just kind of like, right, this is how it is now. The less of you that's in, it's a bit like, why am I doing this? Putting a fucking toe in there first. Fuck that. Do you know what I mean? Get it. Do it.
Yeah, fuck you.
You're going to love it then. My tip as well is buy freezer blocks to save yourself having to buy ice all the time. It's not really necessary at the moment because it's fucking -3 degrees, but yeah, we've just got a shitload of freezer blocks in the freezer. You just bang them in, refreeze them after. Right, let's get back to it, Ben. So, cold plunges and exercises daily. Yeah. Just the prescribed exercises, not doing it all the time. Yeah. Let's go for just prescribed exercises 3 times a day. Wealth, obviously you've had a good week last week, got some good things coming up. What are your tasks for yourself this week? Do you want to stick with 5 conversations? Are you happy rolling with that still?
Yeah, I'm happy to keep trying and messaging multiple people. Obviously, I think I can't say I'm having 100% 5 conversations, because if people don't reply, they don't reply. But I'm trying. So I think I'm just going to keep aiming for that and see what happens, really.
Why don't we level that up to like 5 conversations, but 10 follows, 20 follows?
Yeah.
You're actively trying to engage with new people. Because one of the things I've found with our business is we've got like 1,800 followers or whatever it is, and it's not massive, but we're not getting engagement from any of them. So we've started following other people. So that even if we follow 10 people and we get 3 follows out of it, that's 3 potential conversations you got with new people. So why don't we try adding something in where your outreach expands to you have to actively try and find people as well, because it's a sales game and it's a numbers game. The more numbers you've got, the higher your chances are.
Yeah, I feel like I could do with stretching a bit on that, because I've been following a few people a day, but I could definitely try and make that like, let's say 10.
Yeah, 5 conversations, 10 follows. So even if it's 5 messages, 10 follows.
Yeah. Are you happy with me doing that, Dan?
Yeah, I was going to ask you for anything else health-wise, because like you said, you're sort of in this thing where he's doing his exercises.
I know what you mean.
There's no massive reward to you. Like, what can stretch you with health-wise? What? I know it's difficult because you're laid up a bit, but
that's it. That's why I've done it. That's why I thought of that, because ultimately until Ben starts training again.
I mean, cold showers are added, I guess.
What's your food?
That's a good point. It's just been all over, really. I think partially it's been because I've just been relying on what gets cooked for me, to be honest. And Cloud can eat whatever she wants and look great, but I can't. But I'm not going to just offload it. It's definitely, I've just been eating shit, to be fair. I've just been eating whatever. But I see physio tomorrow, and hopefully if I'm allowed to drive, I don't know if I'll be allowed to be honest. You meant to stamp and I'm not quite there yet, but if they do approve me to drive, then as soon as I can get out, I could start buying. I'm a bit all or nothing, which is a bit of a bad attitude to have, but I like going to the shop and buying all my meals and making sure I know what I'm having each day. And I'm a bit of a routine nerd, a bit like John. And if I'm not in that routine, I do find it very, very difficult to try and eat healthy without having everything planned and all that sort of shit.
That sounds like an excuse, I'd say.
It is. Well, that's what I've just said. I do find it hard. I do. I'm not saying I can't do it.
Yeah, that's what we're on it.
Yeah. So we could.
I echo that. I'm struggling with that massively. I set myself 2,600 calories a day, which is low for me. You know that, Ben. Like that's low for me. And first 2 weeks, I nailed it. Our first 3 weeks, I nailed it. Lost 11 pounds, and I could post-Christmas tidy up. And I don't get me wrong, I'm in fairly good shape. It wasn't massive, but last week was not good for food for me. Like I just kept. It was almost like everything else took precedent, and no days did it. I think I hit my calorie target on like one day. So that was one of the ones that I wanted this week, because I just want to make sure I'm eating properly as well.
I'll tell you what.
It's harder. It's harder than it looks sometimes.
For health, then, so I've got into a bit of a bad habit of Cloud always has something sweet after she eats, and she always offers me something. And recently, and I don't really eat sweet stuff, but recently I've just been saying yes, like every day after tea, I'll have a biscuit or a piece of cake, or I don't know, whatever it is. I'll just every day this week, I'll just say no.
Yeah, man. No pudding.
No pudding.
No pudding.
No pudding, fatty.
No pudding.
And I tell you what, I put some trousers on yesterday to go for that meal, and they were substantially tighter. So that'll help.
Yeah.
So cold showers and no pudding. I feel like that's probably a good point, then. To be fair, it's good that you brought it up, because I feel like I said, with the fulfilling thing, just doing the exercises, I feel like it didn't. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm just done. It didn't make me feel any type of way.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Relationships. Like I said, I feel like that was the biggest one that got improved this week in terms of the fulfillment tasks that I had. Although I've not been every single day sat there thinking at the end of the day, writing down what do I feel fulfilled about today. I've just felt it more, probably just from having more structure and getting into a better routine, I guess. So I'm not sure what you guys suggest for that.
I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? It sounds like you're flipping locked in a flat 24/7. Like,
it takes 66 days to build a habit, roughly. So different for different people. But I think for you, if we're going on relationships and if that's if it's been a good week, we need to keep rolling with that and let that build a little bit.
I'll tell you what could be a good one for this. I'll still try and do the fulfillment stuff, but I feel like I do need to be more active in our chat. So
Yeah.
So I feel like in some way, shape or form, maybe touch base in the chat every day, even if it's one message or whatever. Like Den says, I'm quite cutthroat, so I'll just be like, yes, I've done it, or no, I haven't. But I think at least touching base and sharing it a bit and hopefully help motivate you boys a little bit more. I feel like my contribution needs to be a little bit more in our journey. So
that works for me. That's the relationships with us, isn't it? So that works perfectly. So once a day in the group or on social. It doesn't have to be in the WhatsApp group. When you do the reel and things like that, it can be maybe get a couple of reels out there, because like the reels just becoming a fucking the Instagram feed is just becoming me in a plunge pool of black and white.
Yeah.
Pick your gains up. Fucking get some black and white reels on there.
I think that's a massive
so we're doing them all in black and white now, then, yeah?
Yeah, black and white, because it's a black and white.
I thought you were joking when you said that. I was like, what's it mean?
He doesn't joke, man. He just comes up with shit. He just rolls with it. Everything's in black and white. Okay, cool.
Right, then.
All right, so yeah, let's do that. So I think you both need to do that as well. I think that needs to be something. If we do a couple of posts each, reels on the page, it's getting content out there as well. So that's a good thing for us all to do. If we all aim for, as a kind of sub one, if we all aim to get two reels up on the Instagram or the Facebook, because you can do one reel and share it to all of them.
You don't want to do that. Again, it's where it's just building blocks. So it doesn't have to be something flipping profound. So sometimes as fitness professionals, we're like comparing ourselves to other content out there, aren't we? So,
mate, I've just spent nearly £1,000 on a camera. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But I've been out there. I've literally took a picture of the view because it was just mega. Just put that on. Like, just, you know what I mean? Don't overanalyze it. Just get stuff on there.
Yeah.
So
for me, cold showers, no pudding, fatty, 5 conversations, 10 follows for wealth, and then relationships, share something in the group or social media every day, no matter what it is.
Yeah, perfect.
Right, Johnny boy.
Right. Fucking forgot what mine were from last week. Health, cold plunges got done every day. That was all good. I'll keep on with that. You can set me something new if you want. I'd like something food-based.
Get an outdoorsy one done.
You'd like what, sorry?
I'd like something food-based, because I really want to get back on track with my eating. Like last week was a bit of a write-off. It was fucking banging, and then everything else has taken precedent, and it's just been a bit. I've had a couple of social things this week, which kind of made it like that. But
truthfully, what's your biggest pain point with your food right now? What is it? Is it you're mentally struggling because you feel like you're overeating? Is it you've still got the binge habits that we know you suffer with sometimes? Is it like what's the main thing that you like feel as if you can't control at the minute?
It's just that, like, I'll get to. I usually structure my food out. I'm like you, Ben, so I'll routine it, and I'll have times in a day. So I'll be like, I'm eating at 8, 11, 2, 4, whatever it is. And that's just kept getting thrown out. And instead of being able to rein myself back into that, I just thought, oh, fuck it, I'm only 200 calories over. I'm kind of convincing myself. It's that excuse thing of like, oh, I'll still be in a deficit. I'll still do this. But ultimately, I've got a fucking goal and I've set it. And I'm usually really good at dieting. And it seemed to just be this week. It's almost like everything else has taken precedent, like I say. Binge eating wise, after Christmas, it stopped.
You've been all right.
Because I needed to. It stopped, and I haven't really been that bad with anything like that. So
I think
when I want it. Mine's just when the reins are off, I don't stop.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm like you, Ben. I'm a man of extremes. When I diet, I generally used to diet really harshly, get everything off, and then I'd have complete freedom for ages.
Yeah.
Mine's more about how I feel, and it's the quality of my food. And yeah, I did the same thing as you, Ben. I've like, Beth always has a pudding, and that's just become a thing that I do now. So I'll have tea and then I've got a pudding, and it's like, I think that probably needs to stop because it's just unnecessary for me. So because of my penchant for sweet things, that just makes me want more sweet things.
Yeah.
And I'm not asked about getting bodybuilder shredded, don't get me wrong. It's more just how it makes me feel. after Christmas, I felt like pure shit because all you eat is carb and shit. But then after 3 weeks of eating like loads of vegetables and loads of high quality whole unprocessed foods, I felt elite again. And I just don't want that to stop. So for me, that calorie target means it's enough for me to eat enough food in good food. It's when the shit comes in, and that is creeping back in. So I feel like maybe doing a week where I don't eat anything, like any chocolate or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Whatever it is.
Well, that's like,
Sorry, go on then.
well, like being over restrictive can be a problem in itself with food.
That's
So
what I was gonna say. Yeah.
about looking at it, you know the habit loop. Yeah,
100%.
reward. Look at those occasions, like you've just like Ben's just said about it's after tea. There's a pudding. Well, have something ready so you can still have something to eat and not be left out social.
It could be sweet as well. It could still be sweet, but just with a set calories that you, and then every day, if you want something sweet, but as long as you can control, like you said, if you have something sweet and you feel like you get the urge to eat more sweet, then
that's it. It becomes a trigger for me, which is why I end up cutting it out. And I'm in that loop of I'll cut out chocolate for a bit and then I won't crave it. And then as soon as I have it, I'm like, oh, mate, I could definitely eat 2 more bars. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, I don't know what you think then, but I think then to try and get the fine balance of not being absolutely Nazified, like over restrictive, I feel like then just every day, no matter what, calorie target needs to be it. Where you at least your protein target it, because that'll make it more difficult for you to eat shit with a high protein target, won't it? So I think if you set yourself a high protein target, you hit that and you're 100% within your calories. No 200 less, 200 more, it'll be all right type situation. Like you're 100% on it, then I feel like that'll prevent it in itself. What do you reckon then?
Yeah, I just think what my point was going to be, well, obviously, I always feel like when people are doing calorie targets and stuff, it's very much like you're on it, but it's not sustainable because you're at some point you're going to be off it. Whereas that can be managed if you identify those habits where, like after tea, you always have a snack. Well, that's fine. There's a habit there that needs looking at, identifying, but don't just say I'm stopping that. I'm stopping this. It can be, like you say, exchange that. I don't know what you have, a cheesecake, exchange it for an apple. So there's something there and you're not missing out. You can sit, your missus can eat it, whatever can eat it. You're not missing out. It's, it might be, you can make some amazing protein shakes, can't you? And blend things. So it might be something like that that's just a bit healthier, but you're still getting that little bit of something extra because you're feeling like you want some extra. There's no problem with that.
Okay, cool. I'll plan it then. I'll plan a few days and I'll just check in each day. I'm going to set myself 2,600 calories, which is quite a big deficit for me with how I'm trying to move and the amount of cardio I do. But okay, let's have it for a week and see where we can get. And then I'll start breaking the small habits as they go. Okay. Right. Well, yeah, everything's sound. What did I set for wealth last week? Everybody got it?
I don't know where I've got my books, to be fair, mate. I'll be honest, that's what I was squirming for, looking for earlier.
I think mine was similar. So you
said that you wanted to do the 5 conversations as well because you feel like it'd help.
Yeah. I haven't done 5 conversations a day. I have been doing the follows. We have been reaching out. I have been doing posts for Just Fucking Do It and Become pretty much every day as well.
Yeah.
We've had a good week. We made some sales, things like that. I've obviously invested a lot into my business. My total wealth's probably gone down, but asset wise, it's probably about the same. So,
how many offers so if you've got a wealth goal, you've got to sell stuff. So, how many offers to work with people are you making each week? Have a look at that and even just monitor it for this week and then try and improve on it next week. So, let's just say you're only making 3 offers this week. Your income at the end of the week is 450 quid. And your goals are grand, then you're going to have to make double. Yeah, exactly. It's a maths game, isn't it? It's a numbers game.
Yeah, it's a numbers game. Yeah, I think mine should probably be similar to Ben's then for this one because we're in a similar industry. Well, we're in the same industry in that essence. If I go for 5 conversations, 10 follows.
No, but how many offers is that? It's a financial goal. How many offers are you making?
Okay, should we say 2 offers a day?
I don't know. You tell me how many offers to work with you, are you making to people each day, do you think?
Depends on if you're coaching in person, probably, yeah, 1 a day maybe at the
Right.
moment.
We'll
So
try-
I can double that, 2 a day.
I'll make it 2 for a start and then see where that gets you.
Okay, cool.
Because outreach is outreach, isn't it? Actually offering to work it's a pitch, isn't it? And you're only going to sell if you pitch.
Yeah, 100%. All right, 2 offers to work with people a day. I'll expand on that. This is going to change a little bit as well, because hopefully I'll be starting in gym as well on Monday for the in-person side as well, or soon anyway. I'll find out on Monday. On top of my little studio space, so that's going to mean that my in-person is going to hopefully shoot up quite drastically on top of the online. So when that arrives, I'll up that again, because that's going to be going up to, I want five offers a day while I'm in gym. So yeah, I'll do that for now. I'll just do that for pure online then.
One thing to be careful before you go into that is like consider you've got a blend, you've got an online business, haven't you? Your ideal would be, we all know in person is a burnout game, isn't it? So you want to be looking, well, I'd imagine you want to be looking at a hybrid model, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm going for, is the hybrid model. I think since post-COVID, my personal opinion is, and from what I've spoken to other people about as well, is because of the nature of our industry, it is a service-based industry, and people are more likely and willing to pay for something that they physically get in person. While I do agree you can probably get better results online, creating that hybrid model and people actually getting a physical product as well, almost, which is your time, having both is going to be massive. So that's why I feel like, because post-COVID, now everything's just going back to normal, people are buying more in person again.
That's how we frame it. So for them, they've got a choice. They either pay for an hour with you per week, or they pay for 3 hours but actually get 7 days, because you're going to be on them for 7 days. Like, it's a value proposition.
Yeah, and I think that is the way that I had planned to go with it. It was, as soon as I'm back on the gym floor, was to basically upsell the hybrid model. So you're going to get both, which I think will be a big win. So that's my point of view for that. All right, relationships wise, mine's relationship with myself again, same. I'm pretty comfortable with myself at the moment. I actually had this conversation with Beth yesterday. Like, I feel really good about myself, even regarding the food thing. Still feel really good, and I think a lot of that is the cold plunges and things like that as well. In no way am I being hard on myself. In fact, I'm actually backing myself probably more than I ever have done. So I don't feel like saying something nice about myself every day is that mad. I've been doing the brain dumps every day. That's what my other health one was. Yeah, the brain dumps have got done every day. I haven't missed a day. But yeah, relationship.
Do you feel like it's?
I don't know. I had this conversation with Beth yesterday, because people use them for different things. Mine, I just feel like it just becomes a bit of a rant almost. It's not even like a rant. It's just it doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of what I'm thinking.
I don't know.
Mine's more about creating priorities.
Yeah, but you've just said everything else is going really well. So the building blocks that are in place, of which
maybe it is.
One of them is the brain dump. It's obviously working, isn't it? We just forget. That's what happens, isn't it? We forget what's working until it's too late, and then you end up lost again.
I'd be surprised if it was the brain dump. Just from, because I know me, and I feel like I wake up in the morning and I basically set what I'm going to do out for the day, and I create my lists, and I do, my to-do list is always like popped up on my laptop or whatever, and I work my way through it. And then at the end of the night, I feel like maybe if I change the way I do my brain dump, it's more to how I'm feeling internally, instead of kind of just what's going through my head. I think I need probably more reflection with it. But sometimes it's just hard. Like when you're tired, it's just kind of like, well, this is what I'm thinking right now. I feel like some of them are a bit longer. If I'm annoyed at something, it's a bit longer. That probably helps. It's that vent thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's a rough one for me, because I don't feel it, but maybe it is. Maybe it's one of those things that maybe it is making.
Do you feel like you're having enough time for yourself at the minute?
Probably not. Depends. Yeah, maybe. So I haven't played my drums enough. I have been trying to get like an hour in the Xbox at night. But then I feel like that eats into my best time. So I feel it almost makes me feel bad, but I know it doesn't hurt. She bought me the Xbox, one of those things. She tells me to play. I
Is
feel
it
like,
it down to half an hour then, or
yeah.
I don't know, three times
If
in
you
the
tried to play Elden Ring, bro, half an hour, I'd just die like 10 times.
week.
Nothing to get done. Yeah, I mean, like I say, relationships is a good one for me anyway. I've got loads of things going on. I'm going out on Tuesday with my mum. I'm Beth. We're going out to see a show for Chinese New Year, and there's little things like everything's really positive relationship wise. I feel really good about myself. I'm backing myself to go do what I do anyway. So maybe just keeping it as it is, kind of like I feel the brain dumps I'll keep in because maybe they are helping subconsciously. But I mean, what do you guys think? What do you guys think would benefit me? This is obviously more about what you guys want to set me as well. Because you know me, Ben talks to me every day. Ben, I talk to you every day, every couple of days. Like,
I just think from talking to you, you seem much clearer and positive, and surely an element of that's got to be from reflection you're doing in your brain dump. I think I don't know. It's personal thing. Isn't it? You're asking for our point of view, whether it's right or wrong. It's that I'm just telling you my point. What I see and hear from you, everything's going great. Like, so if it's not broke, you don't fix it, do you?
no, that's fine. That's a good point. Yeah, I think a lot of it is the stress reduction as well. I think has definitely helped over the last sort of few weeks. I don't feel like I'm constantly on alert. Whereas at times, like when I was managing, I always felt like I was on alert, like what's going to go wrong. Because Ben knows this. You're all in comfort. It's your side, so it's your baby, isn't it?
I mean, it's completely different, mate. I don't know what Ben thinks.
About what? Sorry.
About like John's reflection, whether it's working, whether it's not, what he should do instead.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because I feel like only John knows instead. What I don't want to happen is I don't want to just give him a target for the sake of giving him a target. Do you know what I mean? I think only you really know, John, if it's helping really.
The only way to know that would be to take it out, and then I know it's one of them. If I take it out and it all goes pear shaped for a week, I've fucking lost a week. So
when you're doing this brain dump at night, are you having to force yourself to think of stuff to write, or well, then I think that's probably not helping. If you're forcing yourself to think of stuff to write, I feel like the point of the brain dump is if you've got all these thoughts going through your head, pinging around like a ping pong ball, like Den's is 24 hours a day with all these ideas and all this. Not anxiety, but like
bullshit.
Yeah, all this shit that you just feel like you need to release. Then if you're sat there thinking, "Oh, I don't know what to write," then maybe it might not be helping. I don't know, but there is one thing that I think that as much as you're singing and dancing, saying everything's perfect, I think there is always some shit that can be improved. Whether it's with your friends, family, relationship, mum, dad, I don't know, whatever.
Best listening in the other room, and she just messaged me saying all the things that I've said about brain dumps are the benefits of it. So apparently it is working.
Okay. Let's keep the brain dumps then. And
it's just put it's working, you melt. That's why I love it. So we'll keep brain dumps in. I'll tell you what.
What about first thing in the morning then? What about first thing in the morning when you first wake up and you're like, fucking hell, like I've got this to do. Why don't you try it first thing in the morning instead of night? I don't know. What do you think then?
I was going to suggest that. What about just doing it one end of the day?
Yeah, well, I've been doing it at night to try and get it out before I go to sleep, to try and improve the sleep quality.
Or if you're struggling to think and you really haven't got anything to say, then maybe you could go to sleep.
Like I said, I think maybe me being more flexible with it is a good idea, because there have been a couple of days where I haven't really had to think and I've just kind of vented, which has worked. But other times I've used it more to just try and organize my thoughts and create those priority lists. So maybe my view on it needs to change a little bit. It doesn't have to just be a fucking like vent, and I don't have to kind of try and get all the stress out of it. Maybe I can use it as a time to be productive as well, and use it as a time to organize, create that priority list for the day before, and set yourself for the day ahead. Because I'd usually just do that in the morning. I'll get up, I'll train, and then I'll create my to-do list, and then I'll just do my to-do list, and everything's always getting boxed off. But maybe I try, and when I need to vent, I can use it to vent. When I want to use it as a to-do list or just to organize everything, I can use it just as an organized. But I think keeping it in will be beneficial, so I'll keep it.
Okay.
Fucking
sound good for you?
I was there, didn't we?
You do sometimes, don't you?
You do, mate. You do. Yeah, I think it's working. What is your sleep been? What has your sleep been like?
Depends, man. Yeah, sound. Sometimes I wake up at 3 o'clock, fall back asleep. Sometimes I'm always up at 5 no matter what. Anyway, like I say, apart from this morning when I fall back asleep, it's freezing. So yeah, like I say, everything's sound there. I'll keep it in because it best seems to think it's working. So I'm going to trust her because she probably knows me better than I know myself. So
sorted. So that's us all sorted then. Yeah. One thing we didn't do was score ourselves. So we'll make sure we score ourselves next week. We'll sort something out for sort of a month end, like a review, and then adapt it, reset, set goals for the month. Yeah. If you are watching this, if you've managed to listen to the whole thing, it'd be interested to know what your goals are, what your story is, what if you've improved, whether you've been inspired by anything we've said, anything you've seen. Just be really interested to know because it's not just for us, is it? So
and let us know in the comments or send us a DM if you want this spreadsheet as a template that you can use for yourself and your mates or whatever, where you write yourself a health, wealth, and relationship target every day and track it and stuff. We're more than happy to just create a template for that and we'll ping it you over.
Yeah.
Sounds right, boys. Go and enjoy your Sundays.
Same to everybody else. Take it easy.
Right, see you later, lads.
Just fucking do it.
Let's do it.
Bye.